There's no question that picking the right major or the right courses to study in college is going to help you get your first job, but it's also going to help you with the logical type of thinking that's needed in order to be able to really do well in that first job. So in this video, I'm going to share my recommendations if I was in college right now, to you, what you should be studying in college if you want to get a job in AI, crypto, or in the metaverse. So about me, my name is Jillian, and I am a startup solutions architect at AWS. This channel has nothing to do with my role at AWS. This is me wanting to share some wisdom and knowledge that I've learned in my experience working at AWS and in the tech industry in general. So this is just completely my own opinion to really help you be able to advance your own career and get some clarity on the tech industry and what are some emerging trends that are out there. So now on to what we're going to be talking about today is really about what it is that you should be studying in college. So the first thing that's really clear is if you want to be in a technical role, I mean, this is really a no-brainer at this point, but studying computer science is definitely very important. It's not only going to help you with getting that first job, because a lot of employers do really look at that, or they look at that as a proxy that you're going to be able to do a technical role. Those computer science courses actually are going to teach you some things that are then going to help you understand the fundamentals of how different systems and processes in really any type of software company, anything that's going on tech related actually work. So that's a foundation that you absolutely need. So computer science, whether that's you decide to major in it, minor, or just take a couple of courses, that is an absolute must, and it's definitely not going to go away. So now once you've actually studied computer science, there's definitely other courses, maybe majors, minors, that you want to actually consider, because the kinds of thinking that those courses are going to help develop in you are really going to help you be able to survive, not survive is the wrong word, but actually thrive in that first job out of college. So here are my recommendations based on the three industries: AI, metaverse, and crypto. So let's talk about AI. If you want to get a job in a technical role in an AI focused company, I would focus on really, there's two disciplines that I think are really going to help you in those kinds of roles. So one is math. If you want to be a data scientist, a machine learning engineer, or really just be someone who understands how AI works, there is a ton of math in machine learning. So understanding really the core fundamentals of the math that is going on is going to really help you be able to have a better appreciation of the actual algorithms, how they actually work, and what are the machine learning techniques that machine learning engineers are actually employing. So that's number one. Number two, I would also suggest, if maybe math is not your thing, I would also suggest then considering economics. Economics, what I really like about economics, actually what I studied in undergrad, even though I now I'm in a technical role, and I don't directly use economics, but there's still a lot of really parallels. One, what I love about economics is that it teaches you to be able to start understanding how to interpret data in a way that can generate business results that people really care about. And that's, at the end of the day, is what's important with anything in AI. At the end of the day, it's all about being able to infer what that machine learning model is telling you, and then being able to share that information with either business stakeholders to really understand, okay, is this a model that we should be putting into production, that we can then have our customers be able to use because it's now going to be accurate enough. So economics really teaches you how to make sense of that data and of those of the actual statistics that are numbers that are really coming back. There's also just other, I would say economics in general. I think it what I love about it is it really teaches you how to understand bigger trends of how the world actually operates, understanding supply and demand, understanding opportunity cost, which if you're not familiar with, opportunity cost is if I'm doing one thing. So let's say right now I am recording this video with you, that means there are other things that I can't necessarily be doing at that exact same time. So there is everything essentially is a trade-off. And being able to really understand that is something that's just a very, really helpful mental model to have as you are just like really growing in your own career and in your own just like personal and professional development. So economics is something that I absolutely love and definitely recommend. And even there are a lot of other, just when I was starting to learn machine learning, I was surprised that a lot of machine learning articles that I saw were written out there were written by economists. So there is a lot of, I'd say, similarities between the two, even though they are different disciplines. So definitely economics is the second one. All right, I know I went really hard on that one because that's what I studied in college. So the third one is Metaverse. So if you're someone that wants to go into the Metaverse, some company that's doing things in the Metaverse, there's two things that I would recommend. One is art. There's definitely a lot of, or maybe depending on the university that you go to, they might have like a UI, UX, graphic design type of major or courses. Any of those I think are definitely worth being able to take advantage of because it is a very artistic representation of the actual the virtual world of the real world, and being able to understand some of those fundamentals, I think is going to give you a really unique lens to be able to approach how do we take the real world and translate parts that are maybe not as good right now in the virtual world, but make it a much more rich experience so it's real like. Or maybe even in some cases, maybe it's better than the real world. For example, like some use cases in the metaverse are how can we experience virtual concerts? So it's almost as if you have like the best seats in the house, but you're not paying the price it costs to maybe be absolutely front row at like some concert. So maybe being able to understand that art is definitely and that experience, I think, is going to really be valuable. And then the second I would also recommend is physics, because metaverse really is about taking the virtual world and recreating it in a way so it feels like the real world. So understanding the actual science behind how the real world works, what makes something real, and how we perceive the world, and being able to quantify that in a way that feels real in a virtual world. Those skills are going to, you learn those in physics. That's really what physics is. So I would suggest physics or art. And the third one is crypto. Let's say you are really bullish on crypto and you want to be in a job in a company that is doing crypto. And even though there might be a lot of stuff in the news right now, crypto is not being good, they're still not doing well. There's still plenty of companies out there that are really in that space. So it's definitely something that as you graduate college, there'll still be plenty of other businesses that are still out there that are really optimistic about the future of it. So crypto, that there's really two things I would recommend. One, I mean, computer science, I would say for all of these, but for crypto especially, it's very computer science heavy, but particularly in the networking area. And I say this from personal experience because I've worked with a number of different crypto startups, and really, as I've had to learn how to help these startups build their business, I've started to realize that there's a lot of understanding of just networking, of how systems, IT systems are really built, and the actual software infrastructure that's required to be able to, maybe it's create a blockchain or to be able to manage these these transactions on a blockchain. um, is it's a lot of networking. There's just a lot of, which, and another way of saying it, it's kind of like learning the plumbing behind the internet and behind how applications work, like really learning the plumbing behind it works. So those are the only, you only really learn those types of fundamentals if you take computer science. So um, computer science is, I would say, that's really the best way to get to learn, to help you, I guess, really understand what's going on in the crypto industry. And then the second one I would then say for crypto goes back to economics. And that's because you'll start to understand uh, really supply and demand, how that works with crypto. You'll start to then really appreciate, especially there is a part of economics like behavioral economics and how people make decisions of whether they think something is a valuable asset or not a valuable asset. And really understanding the behavioral economics specifically is going to help you appreciate why it is that people are bullish about crypto, they're not bullish about crypto. And that's going to, so either of those, but I would say definitely computer science, hands down, is like essential for to really understand what is going on in crypto. But those, at the end of the day, I mean, you're going to be learning forever. And I know I say this because I feel like when I was in college, there was this, maybe as professors or maybe it was just like other students, but they kind of would make you get the impression that you're only going to learn once in college, and like the major you pick is like the most important decision of your life because it determines what job you're going to have, and like it determines the entire core trajectory of your life. And that is absolutely not true. You are going to be learning for the rest of your life. And I say that because once I even got the job at Amazon, there's even more learning that has to happen in order to be able to help customers, to be able to continue to improve my knowledge so I can be able to continue to add more value and to grow my own career. So learning is never going to go away, and you're going to have to learn things in your job in order to get to the next job that you don't currently have now. Like there's so much that I had to learn that I because I didn't take really many fundamental computer science courses. I took a few, but there were a lot that I didn't. So I had to then learn a lot of those once I was on the job. And there's and learn more about like AI, learn more about linear algebra as an example. And I didn't learn those like in college. I had to learn those afterwards. So like definitely don't stress out about like this being like the most important decision of your life, because you're going to keep learning forever. But learning these courses, taking these courses now is definitely going to help you have a better foundation for that first job. So if you have any questions about this, have any comments that you want to share, please just like let me know. Just like leave something in the chat. I'm here to support you. I want to help you be able to get that first job that's really fulfilling, that really helps you be able to set yourself up for options in your career after college.